Hello guys and welcome back to the console. I believe this is episode 6, and if you're wondering why I'm talking so fast, because E3 just happened and we have a lot of stuff to talk about, at least that's what I thought. I was like, oh no, we have a lot of stuff to talk about in the next console, and then I got a Game Informer in the mail, and I was looking through it, I was like, oh that's cool, okay, now I have even more stuff to talk about, so I'm kind of going nuts right here, right now. Let's get started. So I guess since Nintendo's the simplest, we'll start with them. Basically, there was a lot of stuff about the Wii U. There were some new games coming out, but not a lot that actually interested me. And then there was like a new Pikmin game, and then there was like Paper Mario. And that was about it. Nintendo kind of sucks. But guys, the next thing I want to talk about is Assassin's Creed. And the reason I want to talk about this is because, well, I haven't really talked about it yet. I kind of skipped over it on the last episode so that I could talk about Crysis 3. And really, I'm not an Assassin's Creed 3 player, or Assassin's Creed at all, but I'm thinking about trying out Assassin's Creed after seeing the trailer for the new one. I do like the fact that it takes place during the Civil War. I do like the fact that you're going to be able to do a whole bunch of, cool stuff, even though, you can do that in all the other Assassin's Creeds, but this one looks really good. The only problem I have with Assassin's Creed is that in all the trailers, they kind of just show him hacking away at people with his hidden blades. I mean, that's not really Assassin, that's kind of just, I have a feeling one of the future games is just going to be Assassin's Creed. Just kill everything. And what I really liked about E3 this year, not just sequels are coming out, especially the Sony booth, a whole bunch of new games are coming out. We're not talking sequels, we're cocking. We're talking new games with new stories, new plot lines, new characters, new everything. And I'm excited about that. So I guess I'm briefly going to go over a couple of the new games that I heard about. And the first game I want to go over is Beyond Two Souls. Now, this game is being made by the same people that created the game Heavy Rain. I never really played Heavy Rain, but it looked like a really good game, and so does Beyond Two Souls. These games basically move like movies that you control. You control what happens in the story, and it's not a bad thing. And then there was Star Wars 1313, which also looks like a really good game. Now, I haven't played Star Wars since, the ages of, Battlefront 2 and stuff like that. And just to say it right now, you guys are gonna be shocked, just gonna say it right now, I'm not a fan of Star Wars. I've never seen any of the movies, and I don't plan to. They look kind of boring to me, honestly, and it's not my thing. But I do kind of like the games. I liked Battlefront 2. 1313 looks really good, and I always wanted to play Force Unleashed. I just never got the chance. I always loved the repulse thing he does. And then finally there's The Last of Us, which is being made by the same people that made Uncharted. So it seems like a lot of people that made successful games are just making new games with the exact same concepts and the exact same kind of gameplay styles except with new characters, which I don't mind, but anyway. This game features basically the same gameplay type as Uncharted, except it seems much more realistic and very difficult, which I like, because games hold people's hands too much these days. I mean, have you guys ever tried to play an old game that you played when you were little? I like to go back to the old SNES or the Super Nintendo, or SNES or the Super Nintendo, the SNES or the Nintendo, and play some of my old cartridge games. And I'm like, how did I do this when I was little? You were able to do it when you were little because that's what you were used to. You were used to hard games, and you were used to games being fun and challenging. Challenges are fun, and games need to stop holding people's hands so much these days. I think a game like this that's going to be realistic, you're going to have, survival tactics. You don't just heal automatically, you have to actually find med packs to heal. I think a game like this is exactly what gamers need to actually get a good challenge, get their blood pumping, and actually have fun with the game, and be beaten down time and time again without having to ramp the difficulty up all the way to the point where it's just ridiculous. And the last new game I want to talk about is Watch Dogs, which actually looks like a really, really good game. The first time I saw it, I was like, oh great, another Grand Theft Auto type game, I was never really a big fan of Grand Theft Auto. I know a lot of people liked it. All I ever did in Grand Theft Auto was turn on the game, put on the cheats, and then drive around and hit people with cars and blow up helicopters and stuff, and it was kind of fun. It wasn't that great. I'd much rather be doing that in Prototype. But anyway, Watch Dogs is a very innovative Grand Theft Auto-like game in the way that it is a third person, and yes, you are in a city, but that's about it. You can control stuff with your cell phone. You can manipulate, devices all around the town. You can distract people to do things. It's a very strategic game. Also, it looks very actiony with awesome, slow motion shooting things and stuff like that. And it just looks really, really good. I don't know what else to say about it. But guys, now let's talk about Halo 4 and Halo 4. Oh my god, Halo 4. I'm sorry if I seem crazy, guys, but I haven't been interested in Halo since the days of Halo 2 on the original Xbox. I'm not talking about Halo 2 revamp for the 360. I'm talking Halo 2 for the original Xbox, playing in my friend's living room, 4 players, just, Slayer, and just going into the map. That's all I remember about Halo. I mean, I did play a little bit of Halo 3 with my friends, but I don't remember actually having fun with that game. It was just kind of like, yeah, a multiplayer game to play when you're bored, And then Halo Reach came out. And then Halo 3 ODST came out, and I just kept getting more and more disappointed. Now I'm seeing these trailers for Halo 4, and I'm like, oh my god, this looks amazing. If you guys haven't seen the trailers for Halo 4 yet, I'm not going to play them in this video because I don't want to get, flagged for copyright or anything. I did actually just have a video on another channel that got audio removed because of a song I used, so that kind of sucks. So I'm not going to be doing that anymore. But if you guys want to check out a trailer for Halo 4, I'm going to put a link in the description. It looks really, really good. And I haven't been this excited for Halo in years, and I'm glad I am because I like Halo. It's a pretty good game. It started like the first-person shooter. I mean, when Halo 1 came out and it said Combat Evolved, it was Combat Evolved. There was nothing else like it. It was awesome. I mean, of course you had like Doom and Quake and stuff like that, but Halo was Halo. And the reason its name got so big is because it was Halo, and you can't argue with that. Halo is a big name for a reason. Everyone that says Call of Duty, oh yeah, Call of Duty's way better. Yeah, I agree, Call of Duty's better. But you can't knock Halo because it basically started the franchise, however you want to say it. Halo was a big game and is a big game today for a reason, because it was good, and to many people it still is good. So you guys, that's it for E3. Now let's get into the stuff I found in my Game Informer. Now I'm just going to flip through here and name stuff because, guys, I didn't script this episode. I just filmed it. I was like, oh wow, nobody's here. I'm going to film the console. So that's kind of just how it went, and that's probably how it's going to be for a while now. So, of course there's Gears of War Judgment, which is the new game coming out. They probably had stuff about this in E3, but I didn't see anything about it. As for how I feel about the game, I was never really a huge Gears of War fan. I did like Horde mode, but that was about it. Gears of War was an okay franchise. Not amazing. But yeah, anyway, moving on. Then there's, of course, Dawnguard, the Skyrim DLC, which looks really, really cool. I will admit, I wasn't as big a fan of Skyrim as I wanted to be. I mean, everyone was going, yeah, Skyrim, Skyrim, It was a good game. It was like, when I reviewed it, I looked at it as from a critic's perspective. Meaning, I gave it really good reviews because it is a really, really good game. But as for what it did for me, it was okay. It wasn't amazing. I invested more hours into like Crysis 2, which I got after Skyrim, which I liked a lot, and it didn't do much for me. So I'm hoping Dawnguard will get me back into it because it did seem like a game that I could potentially invest a lot of hours into, and I kind of wanted to because my computer can max it out and it's pretty, and you guys know the story. And guys, the last thing I want to talk about is something I am probably the most excited about, which is called Persona 4 Arena. They are actually making a fighting game out of one of my most favorite RPGs of all time. This is like male-gasm for me because fighting games are my favorite type of game, and Persona 4 was one of my favorite RPGs, which RPGs are also one of my favorite types of games, and blah 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 blah. This looks really cool, and it looks like BlazBlue. And BlazBlue was a really good game. So, I'm not falling again. That shit hurt.